Hey YouTube, Muskoka Steve here. It's February of 2022, and the following video is one that I did last year around this time with Michael Groves of Dwarvin Enterprises, and he does a fiber optic kit to light model railroads or buildings or anything that your imagination can take you to. Anyways, I did a video clinic for Michael last year around this time on the construction of this ITLA structure that I built a little over a year ago. And I'll take you to that video now, and you can see some tips on how I put this together.
Yeah, so this is the overall structure. I believe I think I counted 19 wall section kits that ITLA puts out. They're all different modules. They're all about 4 panels high, but you can cut them. You can add on to them. I cut out some additional structures, just one panel high, to add on to this, make this little addition on the top. The wall sections are all like this section here was the one kit from ITLA. So he has some with that come with the roll-up door at the bottom. This is a separate kit. The little entryway, the fire escape, that's a separate kit that you can add on. So there's 19 wall sections in total, and they go together. They're all sort of slotted so that you can put them together in any configuration that you can imagine. So if you have a small 12-inch section to fill, then you might just do three panels. But I like big industrial structures. I've built them out of plastic. I've built them out of hydrocal kits. But this one I think is my favorite, which is it's all MDF or wood, laser cut wood. I find it the easiest for finishing, and it takes the paint very well. And the precision of the laser cutting is one of the things that I like the best. Is that all of the windows are a separate piece. The brick is a separate piece, and he also includes in the kit these flat pieces that allow you to cover up all the seams and put a cornice at the top. You can paint them all separately, and just with a spray can, and then there's no masking involved, and then you can put them all together very easily with just white glue. And the laser cutting is so precise, everything fits together perfectly. Very little filing is required. You don't have the nubs of the sprues and everything that you have to file off that you get with plastic kits. And the precision is just so nice. Even all these little window panes are all laser cut out, and they come with some of the little sections of the windows are still in place. It's easy to knock those out, paint them separately, and then as you put in the glazing, you just put the little sections of window back in, and it makes it look like it's been broken and then repaired afterwards. They're just so versatile and simple to work with. They really are a great kit.
That's great, Steve. Do you have some more shots of that?
Sure. So that's the overall kit. This is from the side. Now this structure, I took these photos using Helicon focus. So this is actually a series of about probably 8 pictures with various focal lengths.
Wow.
And so and then I stack the photos with Helicon focus to get even the back of the structure in focus and even the close-up.
I was wondering how you'd done that. That's incredible. Good job, Steve.
And we just hung a sheet, my son and I. My son's a bit of a amateur photographer. He has some pretty nice equipment, and we just hung a sheet and did a little photo shoot with the structure when it was completed. I built the little diorama in front with some track and use asphalt. For asphalt, I use just grout mix, sandless grout mix, and it comes in all kinds of colors. You can get it at Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever, and yeah, just mix it with water and a bit of glue. I mix in with it, and it spoons out just like asphalt, and you can spread it around, and it gives you a very realistic effect. And then this asphalt, I had some glue and weathering and so forth just to make it look much more weathered. So, and this is the first shot of the building in the dark or at night, showing it in all its glory of your fiber optic lighting. And yeah, it's a very nice even effect that you get with the fiber optics. And so the smaller lights basically have the fibers. All I did was drill a hole in the wall, just large enough to fit the fiber, and stuck the fiber through the hole in the wall and capped the end of it on the wall, and you get a very, very realistic effect of the lights. And I'll show in a little more detail how I did the sign. Advantech Packaging is my personal company, that my corporation, and this is my imaginary production plant, per se, where we make packaging. That was the inspiration behind the name. So we lit the dock up inside, and yeah, I'll talk a little more about the fibers and how I lit the walkways and so forth.
Great, Steve. Good. Let's take a look at that a bit.
Yeah, this is the Lamplighter one that I purchased from your company, and what is I used as the basis. You'll see it in the back of the model a little bit more. And here it is in the how I've mounted it. Basically, it's kind of just hanging there. It's not really, mounted per se in the back of the structure. But there's a lot of good information and techniques evident in this picture here. One of the beauties of the ITLA structures is these wall sections all come with a sprue that once you knock the pieces out, you can use the sprue as a stiffener, or it has all 90-degree angles to it, so it's perfect for stiffening up your structure. So that was all used along here, along the floors, and in this interior corner is a nice 90-degree angle piece of sprue, and you can see some over here as well on this section of wall. There's a bit more sprue just glued to the inside of the wall. The MDF that the structure is made of it's a very stable material. Very little, I would say, no warping at all. The sprue is just added to for strength and to keep it all in its shape, much more sturdy. And I've used just some foam here as kind of a concrete separator between the floors to kind of block the light a little bit. And you can see all the strands. Now, I've grouped them together. I've used electrical tape to group them together. In some areas, I've used shrink tubing, just some black shrink tubing. It doesn't have to actually be shrunk down. I just, it's a nice, black round
Right.
tube that you can, feed or, run all the the fibers in, the optic fibers, and gather them all together. And so I have some running up along the top, and some are along the middle to go to the other part of the structure. The other thing that I was not aware of when I started this project was how much the fibers glow or give off light.
Mm.
If I were doing another structure, I think what I would do is maybe paint all the fibers first. Just hang them and give them a black spray of spray paint, and then just scratch or mask off some of the fibers where I wanted them to glow, or create some interior lighting per se. So,
Steve, you actually raise a very important question in my mind, which is, as you look at that, often you light things with the end of the fiber where you really want to sort of illuminate something, but obviously you can also sort of strip or nick the fiber. What was the method that you mainly used, or did you use a mixture of methods here?
oh yeah, there's definitely a mixture of methods used. In this case, I didn't have to do any of the nicking, but I just left the fibers exposed, like this big bundle up here running along the top, and some of the fibers exposed along this floor area. And that cast enough of a glow, to light up the whole top part of the structure. If I wanted it, and I made sure to move the fibers out of, so they're not running right behind the windows,
Right.
because it's very evident. You'll see in some of the other pictures, you can see the glow of the fiber, the actual fiber, through the windows. So you don't want them. If you have a very shallow structure, you have to make sure that you move the fibers away from the windows, but they still cast a good enough glow that you don't need, to put individual ends of fibers all along there. If you nick the fiber, it creates a more pinpoint source of light, which may be beneficial, or maybe that's what you want to create. I'll show an application later where I do the nicking of the light. One other note is with the ITLA structures, the wood itself is about I think 1/8 of an inch thick, but it doesn't. You don't have to paint the back of the structure like a lot of plastic structures.
Oh, right.
You have to paint black inside so that the light does not pass through. It doesn't give you a glow of the wall on the outside. With the ITLA structures, the wood, it does not leak. The light does not leak through any of the seams or the wall itself. So that's another benefit of the ITLA. So, and here's another close-up of the Lamplighter itself, and you can see some more bracing that I've done inside the model. And all the fibers, I pretty much maxed out the Lamplighter. They are in there in that port quite tight. Okay, and here it is, the back all lit up, and you can see how the fibers glow, where they're left exposed, and how this is areas where they're covered up. So.
See, that's really interesting, because every building I've done, I've just used a single fiber sticking up. So actually having something where you're using the side glow of the fiber, I think is particularly interesting. I'm going to have to try that technique on my own layout, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, you're eliminating, you probably need, 3 or 4, small LEDs on the back of this wall in order to get a similar effect where you're getting it all, the whole floor sort of lit up,
right?
Just from running the one fiber. And then over in the dock area, I have the end of a fiber. You can see the quite bright glow here, and that is the end of a fiber, just kind of over top of the whole room, lighting up the room there. Making the overhead door lights. Okay, so on the loading docks, this is a very good close-up of these industrial lights. I searched forever to try and find, just a basic wall industrial light. You see the gooseneck lights all over the place, right? But my era is more of the sort of mid 80s, 1980s, and GP9s, SD40s. Those are my favorites. And so I didn't want the gooseneck lights. I wanted a more industrial looking, wall sconce. And I did these ones just with some styrene sort of U channel, and then I just cut a small piece off and capped the end of it, and just stuck that on the wall and have a hole in the wall with the fiber, just the end of the fiber just sticking out of the bottom of that light. Now, since then, I've gotten some 3D printed, which are about 3 millimeters by 2 millimeters high. My friend Bernard over at Mini Prints, he printed them up for me, and yeah, I haven't been able to try them out yet, but I will be using those in my next application.
Those are going to be pretty tiny, 2 by 3 millimeters. That's great.
Yeah.
Ah.
I mean, the fibers, probably 0.75 millimeters or something. So they don't need to be very big. The industrial lights that you see nowadays are probably 18 inches, 24 inches max. In real life on the side of a factory. So, and they cast a lot of light. So, and here they are lit up. You can see I managed to make sure that there was no light leakage over top of the canopies, and they cast a nice glow. You can see it lights up the whole area below the light quite well.
So Steve, quick question on that. Then is the fiber being bent downwards on that, or is it just reflecting off the plastic internal surface?
What I did, when I drilled the hole, I drilled it on a probably a 45-degree angle through the wall.
Right.
So that's holding the fiber just pretty much at that sort of angle coming out of the wall. So
that's an excellent glow. Yeah, I like that. Nice work.
And this is one of my favorite shots here. I got a little too much. It almost looks like it's wet. The ground. I have a little too much gloss on the tarmac there, but I can tone that down with some powders or something once I get the model installed on the layout. So
I'd leave it like that. It looked beautiful. I thought it was a nice wet sort of wintry type of scene. Sort of a little grungy and great effect, Steve. I like it.
Yeah, the entranceway came out really good with weathering on the rail and stuff, and all that railing is just laser cut. It all comes as part of a kit. Very easy to put together. Everything is slotted, like has a tab and a slot to assemble everything, and it goes together quite easily. So.
Right. Great.
There's another shot from the side of the building. Now, some of these canopies over top of the doorways, I took. You can buy the little round metal. I don't know if they're aluminum or brass. Canopies for like a gooseneck light or something. You can just buy the disc portion with the hole in the middle. I took some of those and just kind of deformed them, flattened them on the one side, and stuck those to the wall, and basically put the fiber through the middle of those, and just painted the back of the fiber black, and left them sticking through the canopy, and that was good enough. Now in this picture too, you can see the fiber through the window. If you were sort of examining this to the nth degree, you would notice the fibers back there. Yeah. So the ITLAs, they even come with the windows themselves. The middle portion of the window is laser cut out, and you can angle that and open all the windows if you like. So,
Amazing detail. That's really quite a work of art.
the lit sign. This was an interesting experiment that I tried. So we're talking about the sign over here, my Advantech packaging sign. So I was trying to get the effect of many incandescent little light bulbs behind the light, and this was one instance where I used the nicking of the fibers in order to achieve that effect.
Well, that was one of the features, Steve, that really got my attention, because I was wondering how you'd done that. I haven't actually been able to reproduce that. I haven't tried yet, but I thought I would wait until you go through this detailed discussion before I go and try it. So tell us really the detail. Would be fascinating, I think.
So I just had a piece of clear styrene, maybe it wasn't 1/8 thick. It was probably maybe a 1/16 thick. Just clear piece of Lexan or styrene, whatever you like. And I crazy glued the fibers to the back of the styrene. And yeah, here it is here. So I just took that clear piece, glued the fibers onto the back, and the sign itself is just white printer paper that I put in my LaserJet printer, and just stuck that with white glue right onto the front of the styrene. No fancy decals or anything like that. It's just printer paper, and the fibers put on the back. Now then I nicked them, nicked all the fibers very close together, probably 1 millimeter apart, maybe 2 millimeters at the most, just to create that effect like it was multiple small lights.
I'm going to say, so that really added to the effect. If you just left them without the nicking, you'd have still got some glow, but
yeah, it wouldn't have been as bright.
okay.
The nicking created more individual points of light instead of that overall glow, which is not what I was going for.
Okay.
I don't think it would have been bright enough. And then this is just one wall section, or where the window could go on the ITLA structure. I just put a backing on it and then fed all the fibers through. And my sign, of course, was sized to fit in this opening. And then that was the final effect. Now I painted the edges all black, and I made the mistake painting the back of the sign black as well, and that I don't think that was it killed the light too much. I think I should have sandwiched another piece of plastic or something on the back, maybe white plastic, to sort of contain and reflect the light a little better than painting it black.
Could you in fact have used some aluminum foil on the back to just create a good reflection?
Yeah, even that probably would have done a better job of creating the glow and containing the light a little better.
Okay.
Like I said, it was all an experiment, and yeah.
It came out very well, I would say. Just go back to that one with where you see the light itself. Yeah, there it is. It just has a very gentle glow to it. It's not sort of popping out at you, but it's and you're right. It looks like some fluorescent tubes right behind the. Yeah. That's neat.
There's close up. Yeah, if I would have liked to have gotten the ink a little darker on the sign, but I couldn't seem to get the saturation any better on my printer, because that would have looked a lot better. Maybe if I had a decal or something that I could have put over top of it and made it more defined, that would have been better.
So Steve, this actually is just plain lightweight paper, white paper that you've used.
Correct.
Printed onto it, and you've got enough light shining right through it. That's amazing. That's good.
Yeah.
That's great.
and see overall structure again.
So that's a video on the construction methods that I use to build this ITLA scale models kit. I recommend, if you like what you see, check out ITLA scale models, and you can find lots of other great kits like this one. In the next video, I hope to update everyone on the construction of my benchwork and what I've been doing to prepare the room for the rest of my layout. See you then.